Welcome to this episode of Back to the Story, where friends come together to play Dungeons and Dragons. I'll be your DM, Klaus. Let's get started.
When you see God's rest surrounded by armies, then know that his desolation has come near.
It is my destiny, not yours.
Really, it doesn't fucking matter if I'm ready or not. I have to deal with the end of the world, and I'm not ready for that.
The reason why any of us are enough for anything is because we have each other.
Everyone can change, not everyone will, but everyone can.
And every day has been beautiful since.
For these are the days of vengeance, to fulfill all that is written.
Yes, I know we all want to compare our god's dick sizes right now.
My glory is to protect. My virtue is sacrifice.
My curiosity is satisfied.
For your sins, I will allow you to seek the knowledge.
Have the courage to do what's right and not what's written.
And God's rest will be trampled underfoot by the heretics until the times of the harbingers are fulfilled.
We've gotten through this before. We can do it again.
You got this.
One more time.
Okay, here we go. Previously, as the bronze scales prepare for their final conflict, they find themselves deep in the central nervous system of Nor. Felix, awakening with a third eye and new connection to Aeon. Using the chalk from Amethystus, the scales teleport just outside the Moonlight Grove on their way back to Nymonet. God has sent me a text message. It tells me to put my phone on vibrate. In Nymonet, the scales delivered the news of Ezekiel's death to the druids, and his staff was put to rest, an enormous and strong oak taking its place. After the scales spoke to Mother Willow about the divine gate and the lost druidic circle of stars, some tense moments came between the archdruid and the scales before the crimson void form of a harbinger took over Ellery and attacked. The harbinger's crimson star blade was deadly, but with Mother Willow, the scales were able to banish the creature, Ellery coming back too. With some deception and promises, they were able to leave the grove, Mother Willow stepping through trees to bring the scales back to Nymonet. We come back to the story here. After walking from the Vivistery beyond Nymonet, you all return to the ancient and holy city of God's Rest. Moving towards the broken gate, you found the wreckage of a battle, numerous dead Valkyrs, vanguards, knights, and undead, and the evidence of massive necrotizing claws and bites. Reaching out to Amethystus, you discovered Hex and a small contingent of undead attacked. Amethystus was able to banish him, but was heavily wounded in the process. The crisp cold of winter blows through the streets. Sun behind clouds like ice, soldiers, knights, cavalry move about a city in preparation as you make your way towards the scaled precipice. Meli, you've been in Embershore, working through sending and spells with Felix over a ring to try to cage the mind of any possessive figure or entity like a harbinger, and have made your way from your home. Where are you? How did you get here?
How did I get, to where they are? You mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm really nervous. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, you're
I haven't
fine.
done this in ages. I teleported after receiving a message from Amethystus, saying that they were injured and the others may need help. Amethystus, I can't say it.
So you find yourself, Meli, in the cold, the snow. The gear you have with you maybe not quite suitable for this season as it moves into winter. The stone streets are covered with the rooftops as well. And though the city is moving, it's only moving in preparation. Metal, armor, swords, bows. Civilians shut their doors, close the shutters of their windows. As you shiver and look upon the city, you look over to the ramparts and see the remnants of a battle fought before you got here. Undead, the living, and you see the large figure looming 10 feet high, trouncing through the snow, a ragged cloak of dark fur, a wolf upon its back, and others are with them. One with auburn hair, one with shorter hair and stature, one with wisp of black hair like smoke, a streak of white, one tanned elf with trinkets and scrolls hanging from them, walking through the streets. What do you do?
Are they near me, or?
Yeah, they're maybe 100 feet down.
I'll start heading that way. And I'll cast sending. I'll just send to Amson and just be like, I'm coming. I think
Amson will stop in his tracks and just be like just stand up really straight and then look really confused.
Amethystus wounded.
Are you okay, Amson?
Yeah, for some reason I Meli's voice in my head and she said that she's coming, I think. End quote. I don't know.
Can you ask her where she is, or have you already replied?
Well, yeah.
Maybe while you guys are discussing this, Ball does the more obvious thing and just kind of looks around. Looking around, do we notice Meli?
Is it the more obvious thing? Because if she's that close, why did she...
Oh, okay, maybe that's fair. Okay.
Hello.
Well,
no, I actually believe Ball would do it. But at the same time,
you guys, I didn't know if you were walking away. Like, you're all faster than me.
We're definitely jogging.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Well, look, if you know the circumstances, it's very obvious as a player.
I also think Ball would immediately look around. That's probably a Ball reaction.
What's my intelligence again? Yes, that would be what Ball does.
Okay, so Ball, as you look around the streets and see the soldiers, some riding horses, some on dire wolves moving about the city, you see another figure. Meli, paint us a new picture. It's been a little while since we've seen her. Has anything changed? Same old Meli?
I think she's chopped off a lot of her hair because it's been driving her insane. And it takes too much time to deal with. So it's kind of more of a puffball because she's just chopped a load of it off. So it's quite short. She's also wearing a bit more practical clothes because she used to wear dresses and stuff. Whereas now she's going for trousers because she's like, right, these people are actually going to have to do some fighting. So I'm going to have to do some running. So trousers it is.
Yeah, so maybe Ball looks around, looks over, sees that, and maybe I'm going to say Ball doesn't quite recognize her. Because that is pretty different from what you would normally look like. So while you guys continue to talk, Ball's just looking around and I don't see her.
She casts a spell. She could be from anywhere.
How long will it take her to get here? Hopefully before we're all dead.
I can ask, but I won't have much left if I do that.
I'll run over. I am close, aren't I? I'll just just running over. Oh. I want to run over and I'm going to try and rugby tackle Ball, which I know is not going to work, but I'm going to do it anyway.
You're going to try to tackle? Is that what you said? Who are you tackling?
Ball.
Ball, make an athletics check. And Ball, make one as well.
Well, I have a -1, so I don't think I'm winning this game.
So 22 from Ball.
That's a 14 for me.
It's the dragon!
So, Meli, you run through the snow towards the Ball, slamming your shoulder into his upper knee area, and just stop and kind of fall back on your butt in the snow, looking up at Ball and the rest of your friends.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there, Meli.
Meli?
Meli?
I'm going to tackle Meli, and then burst into tears.
This isn't fair. I'm already prone on the floor. That's cheating.
I'm going to help them both up.
And group
Yeah,
hug. Group hug.
Felix will dig in his bag for a bottle of wine.
Group hug sans Felix.
Ball drags Felix into the group hug.
No. Oh, okay.
Oh, if he's getting dragged in, he's getting hugged.
What are you doing here?
I was told to come. You guys needed help.
I mean, yeah. Yes. Yes, we do.
Yeah, to be fair, we look like shit right now.
We're all like half health. We got like half spells. We're all tired.
Blood all over her clothing right now.
Ellery has an eye patch.
Yes, you all look awful. I'm just gonna prestidigitate everyone clean. Where are we going?
To find Amethystus. It's probably just easier to catch everybody up at the same time.
Oh, do you want me to message?
I think we know where we're going.
You're right. Yeah, I asked her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we run and resume our quick pace.
Okay. So resuming, kind of talking as you walk through the city, making your way through the various districts until you reach the sort of northeastern area of the Scaled Precipice, this district, mini-city devoted to the dragon god of justice, Akashan. Entering here, there are carvings, statues, a lot of symbology of scales and shields. Many of the braziers or any sort of major torches or beacons are depicted as if coming from a dragon's mouth. And it is a sort of plateau angling upwards. In the highest area of this district was the Rotunda of Law, a meeting place for people in the city and the gods at some point. As you make your way through this white-stoned district, you come closer and closer towards that hilltop where that building lies, and you see one of the columns is felled. The rooftop partially destroyed, and you see a number of troops standing in rows, dragonborn, scaled, armored, shields, standing at the ready. You notice a few overhead in pairs, wyverns, riders atop them, landing on various roofs, rotating in watch. There's steps leading up to the rotunda at the top, as if stacked rocks on one another, balanced. As you make your way up, you see some dead. Mostly dragonborn. They've been pulled off to the side, laid in rows. You see a few pyres have been set up at the base. Quick, non-ceremonial funerals for the dead. You see most of them here. A quick glance sees large claws marks, a few bite marks. Some of them have no marks at all, just their eyes burnt out. Black around their eyes, deep purple. As you make your way to the top. Before you reach there are a number of these Justicars, the dragonborn knights. You're going to watch you as you approach. One of them steps forward, getting off their wyvern to meet you. Tall, brown scales, not sure if they're ruddy red or copper. There's a meeting here. What is your business? We are in preparation.
Amson will dig out his bronze scale and show it, and he'll say, "We are the bronze scales. We're here to see Amethystus and help out in any way we can. We just arrived."
She said you would be coming this way. He looks over, nods to another, and has that one lead you up the stairs, retaking his post. You go up the next couple flights of stairs to the top of this kind of mini rising ramp or plateau. It's maybe 100-ish feet up, though it's balanced on various rocks that kind of cascade down so each jump isn't, in most places, a sheer. The rotunda itself is about 150 feet to the roof, 150 feet circle in diameter, with massive columns, 8 of them. Well, there was 8. 7 now remain, standing holding what's left of the roof up. Walking up, you can see in its center there's a small raise, maybe only a foot in the center, and atop it is a ring. Not quite a table, but a ring. A few chairs have been set up, different make. You see rubble to the left, some people clearing things. Others are setting up what looks like maybe ballistica, other devices you're unfamiliar with, as you rise up into the rotunda to see a number of individuals meeting. There are maybe 20 to 30 individuals around this table. There's clearly about 8 of them that are kind of stepped forward, 8 or 9 that are stepped forward, and the rest kind of flanking them as they turn to you.
Do we recognize any of them?
Make a perception check.
Nope, I don't.
You'll recognize some, maybe not all. But you recognize the main figures. Think you met briefly, an elf looks familiar. She has a polar bear kind of behind her, a hawk on her shoulder, and a few other looks like druids flanking her. You can't remember her name. You remember Soul Beacon Valara, who resurrected Calvin. Dark skin, dark hair with a widow's peak, like light hazel eyes, carrying a golden spear. You see Queen Isadella Wolfrath, Warchild. Light blonde hair silvering as she kind of eases into her 40s. A large, ruddy-furred direwolf by her side. A few white-cloaked knights or valkyrs, and one man in dragon-scale armor. Red, Ludwig. You recognize Olivia Newdawn, the Redeemed, and there's a few other cloaked figures and a small smattering of other armored individuals finishing up the circle. One individual approaches. Champagne hair, older. She has wrinkles and crow's feet, but yet beyond that doesn't seem to have aged. Her smile is soft, but welcoming, warm. Her eyes seem full of life, despite what her age might tell you. It is good to see you. My name is Erudite Misanka. I'm a colleague of Amethystus. She is unwell, but alive. She's being treated below, as best we can. We are in the process of preparing for what comes. As she says this, there is a noise from the back. And you see a stairwell that kind of leads down into the stone underneath this rotunda. And a stretcher is being carried out with a 2 dragonborn, one at the front, one at the back, are carrying this figure. It is moved and set down and helped, eased into a chair. Dark skin, freckles, curly hair, robes, eyes purple. As you recognize at least this form of Amethystus. As this figure, Erudite Misanka, guides you over to her.
Vesper is going into full doctor mode as soon as we get to her, and is going to set a hand on her shoulder and ask, what spells have they cast? What have they tried? What's been done so far? If I can help.
She raises her hand and to quiet it. They are taking care well. It is not something we can easily treat here now. My goal is to help as best that I can. The best healers are doing their work. It is a matter of cursing. It is difficult to unravel. We are working on it. This is not important. Not now. We have, 7 hours? 8 if we're lucky, before night falls. Now is when we make preparations.
Well, what do we know? Where is this opal he's after? What defenses do we have? Where's our best point of stopping him?
One of the armored individuals steps up. He's placed his helm onto the table. This helm has a horse-furred mohawk, but it's sideways. The armor dark, but with cracks of red, streaking jagged across it. If we're ready to begin, we haven't had much time. We know that X came yesterday with a small contingency of undead. Current scouts from the sky, courtesy of the Griffin Riders and the Wyvern Riders, have told us that there are more coming. Thousands. They come in force and are being led by cavalry. The opal is normally held by the Tossot, and he nods his head towards an older figure, a human gentleman, golden light hair, beard, with a wooden cane that's kind of leaned up against the table for support, who nods back. However, I think we all can agree it is best to put it beneath. Lock it away for now. Though it has been offered by others that we might put it in the vaults of the lustrous citadel or elsewhere, dragons can sense where it is. We can lock it away, we can secure it, but we can't truly hide it from X. A defensible location is the best we can hope for.
What if it was removed from the city?
Something we've considered. There are those among us who are fast enough to make headway. How many can outrun him? Sustained.
And that army will still come to the city.
That is our fear. Queen Warchild Wolfrath stands. I've been in discussion with my Valkyrs and my general. We have a proposal we'd like to make. The horse-haired, dark-armored individual reacts. It is our order that has been guarding the city for centuries. You come back just because I'm the heir. Because I'm the descendant of Wolfrath, not you. Your god is dead. And we all will be if we don't work together. We will take your counsel, but my army will be led by me. Ludwig, tell them what we think. She sits in Ludwig the Red, dark hair slicked back, red scale dragon armor, steps forward. Well, we're in a bit of a mess, but I think we have a shot. The army will come towards the front gates. I suggest we move our army, several thousand strong, into the city. The blessings here will protect us from the undead somewhat. We could really use the beacons, luminance, the cavalry to head off the undeads. The Griffin Riders, the Wyvern Riders can head off the bats that fly above, leaving Hex. No standing army fights well against dragons. Trust us, we've done it. But a few select individuals with the right tools and in the right place. Fighting a dragon in the open is foolish. Trying to lure a smart, ancient one into a confined space is difficult. The Rotunda is in a bad place. It's confined enough to where they can't fly too high, but not so constrained that they won't be willing to get in here. Then we'll have to keep them on the ground. We have some tools. He gestures towards these ballistica. Some anchors. Drag along, catch on to some of these columns, perhaps. And from there, we will, and the Valkyrs, slay the thing. Queen Warthrath stands again. Ludwig will head off the armies. Keep off the undead. I and the Valkyr, the White Wolves, will stay here to slay the dragon. We've fought them before. We've slain them before. Look at our armor. You can see by what we wear, we know how to kill dragons. There's murmurs that kind of wash through as the different factions kind of talk among themselves, consider, think, discuss.
I didn't want to interrupt, but if there's any way while they're doing that, I would like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Yeah, sure.
And I basically want to make sure that, see if there's any hint that the intention behind either the general, or I have a feeling I can't actually read the Queen's mind, but either one of them, if they seem to be like, I don't know, have ulterior motives.
So an initial surface level pass, you get kind of thoughts in the form of images of Ludwig the Red. Initially, you see him picturing himself fighting Hex with the Queen, with the other White Wolves, sensing some undertones of intentions with her. A little bit of surprise as she says that he'll be leading the armies, but you see those thoughts as well. You see him in his mind planning out the maneuvers, moving different squads and companies here and there, thinking about the terrain, the mind of a general in planning. Herself, you can get surface level thoughts as well. Similar thoughts of planning, of executing these things. There is an intensity when she discusses the dead god, referring to Murphella, who is gone now. The rotunda has these columns and symbols upon each of them of various deities. There is no column for Wolfrath, though. There is one in its place with symbology and depictions of Murphella, who is dead now. If you wanted anything more than that, you'd have to press further.
No, I think I got the gist of what I wanted. I just wanted to make sure they weren't secretly working with the will.
The pillar that's fallen, do we see which god that is?
That one would be Severus. Depiction of shapes, runes, glyphs, arcane, almost braille, almost. In a sense, there's a pattern to the depictions and the individual runes. Notably, in other areas, you might have seen a personified depiction of Severa, like a person, an entity, a physical female, but here there is no such. It's her. She's represented by thoughts and ideas and laws of physics and the arcane, and not a entity, or less so.
Then, as everyone is murmuring around us discussing the plan, so are we just going to let someone else deal with this?
Ellery just kind of shakes her head.
I don't know if we can. I don't think anyone else is going to have what we have at our disposal.
And at the very least, we have knowledge of what these undead are like. We can at least tell them that. We don't know too much about Hex, but I think we've seen him before, at a distance.
Well, I will look to Amethystus. Is Hex himself an Eternal?
No, I don't believe he is. He's powerful, old. Not as old as he thinks he is, but he's not eternal. It doesn't mean he's easy to get rid of. I managed to banish him for a time, but he'll be back.
Does he have any weaknesses that you know of?
Weaknesses? Most dragons his age don't have many. I would say some of his brethren might be brash, prideful, easily manipulated, but Hex doesn't even quite have that. He's more manipulative than others, smarter. He is at home at the shadows, quiet in flight, has an ease of being unseen. The cold despair and wrought are home to him. They won't be effective against him.
Do you think he'll be lured by this plan?
I mean, if he wants the opal, wherever it goes, he should go.
I think he will come for it again. But as the scouts have indicated, he will come with greater support. The other night was a small distraction of undead at the gates. Enough to lure a few away, but he more or less came alone. Our scouts report significant numbers from the aqueducts beneath. Bats, cavalry, they've been building, slowly trickling them in. And now they're here.
Well, we should make sure that it's us with Hex.
Amethystus nods and taps on the table with her staff. These, and she gestures to you all, are the bronze scales. They are my allies, and in this fight, want to stand against the dragon. They are capable and experienced, though they may lack training and experience in dragon hunting. I'm sure they will serve you well.
Yes, but who are they?
Ludwig speaks up, kind of taking a few steps around the table to get a better look at you all.
Who are you?
By my recollection, they're the people that cleaned up the mess of the Banelinks in your lands that you couldn't handle.
He whispers to the side, one with a rune upon his head. Is not true. Whisper back. Well, suppose they can at least handle themselves.
Well, we've handled 2 Elder Brains, incursion of fiends, the Valgrith. I mean, there's a lot. Anyone else chime in?
It's a little bit of a joke that every time we go to, we defeat the local mythological, creature thing that's there.
An archfey hag thing. We saved part of the Feywild. Saved the Fey Prince.
Point to Vesper. This one knocked out a whole civilization.
Possibly.
Yes, your war stories sound intriguing. Winning is easy. What do you know of fear? Fear that grips you from the back of the head and tells you to run.
Yeah, we've dealt with fear.
He gives the classic Obama, not bad face.
Fine. Just don't get in our way.
Don't get in ours, and I think we'll be fine.
He rolls his eyes.
Vesper smiles.
We've been to Felnor more than once. Is there anything about the undead that you would like to know? We've seen their forces rather up close, so...
You've been. All right, I'll bite. We've seen the skeletons and zombies. We know mostly how to deal with those. The cavalry and those who ride their bats we're unfamiliar with. Are those just more skeletons? What are they?
Likely the vampires.
Yeah. So, The ones that we've seen in Felnor, they have a lot of, zombies and skeletons, but the ones that are from there, they're strong, they're powerful. The place is an evil place. They've probably been, sitting there for millennia. But they have a lot of vampires as well. Some of them are definitely spellcasters of some power or another. So you have to keep an eye out for those as well. If you see any of them waving their hands about, go for them first.
What's dangerous about them, too, is they can turn your friends against you.
Yes.
Make them believe that people who are most loyal to you are actually on their side.
There's also a chance that those that aren't undead, there are other, I don't know what to call them, nations aligned with the will from that side. They will likely aid in the conflict.
All right. He looks to one of his, maybe officers. Go see what you can find about fighting vampires. Get us some stakes, as many as you can handle if need be, before he walks back over to the queen.
Holy symbols are a good idea too, if you don't have them.
How much holy water does the city have?
A good amount, but...
They also might have these poison bombs. Watch out for those, they're nasty.
With the holy water, if you can find places where you can confine them into places with low ventilation, hot rocks, throw the water on it, you'll create a holy water sauna. May help in the fights.
Ludwig gives a surprised face, but then taps another officer, and they go running on orders to find a way to make that happen. The old man with the cane and the kind of golden grayed beard. Well, we have a few hours left. A few hours to prepare the armies outside. A few hours to get things in place here. A few hours to feed. Get some rest before the battle. If the other night is any indication, I imagine Hex will again try to rain down his shadows upon here before landing. We can't let you get weakened. I will engage him in the air. See if I can't pull him down a little. And then it will be up to you all. Amethystus, I believe we should get you out of here. She nods as the dragon lords begin to help her up again.
Amethystus.
Yes.
You said it was a curse afflicting you. Maybe I know a spell that could help, unless they've tried it already.
It's not just a spell we need. We've tried a lot. Let's get through tonight, and then we'll deal with this. You can kind of see she pulls her shirt just to the side a little bit, and you can see kind of dark streaks kind of moving through her flesh and veins, necrotizing. Her right arm not moving, kind of wrapped up in place.
Is there nothing we can do?
Aren't you doing enough? Maybe, but night comes in a few hours. And you, forgive my elvish, but you look like shit. You need some rest.
It's been a long fucking day.
It looks like it. And he's bringing friends, but so are we. You see the various factions and groups are kind of beginning to join themselves, beginning to disband from this circle. As this is happening, a figure with a cloak over one shoulder, dark hair, kind of ruddy, beard kind of growing out, unkempt, unpolished. You recognize Gath. I don't know if it'll hinder us more than it'll hinder them, but I've heard the undead don't like water. It'd be hard to get ships here, but we can bring a storm. Some of the other leadership nods. All right. Let's get to it. And some of these groups begin to disband, give orders to various people. You see wyverns and griffins flying off, others mounting them on horses and riding off with haste towards the front line, the ramparts. Others are beginning to move things around on the rotunda, trying to set up these ballistica, attaching chains to these massive bolts with like an anchor type grappling hook attached, preparing. There's others yells this way and that about triaging units set up below, set up in various buildings surrounding this for those that get injured. And others kind of disband into their various units, some going back to their districts, others still talking on the steps around here about where positioning, where to stand, who goes first, beginning to make final preparations as you're kind of left with Amethystus and a few of the other erudites.
Has Olivia left?
She's kind of giving her orders to the Griffin riders who are riding off.
I'll nod to the scales and wait for her to finish.
Did I understand correctly? We're currently in the building we're planning on fighting Hex in, right?
Yes and no, but just for clarification's sakes, it is a there are 8, now 7 columns that go up about 150 feet, and there's otherwise no doors or walls, so it's kind of an open air structure, if that makes sense.
And about how wide in diameter is it?
About 150 feet. There is a under area that's kind of inside, but this area specifically is kind of open air.
I will kind of look to the group. Does anyone need anything? Do we need to get people in the city to run out and pick up any items?
I think I'm as prepared as I'm going to be. Besides, rest.
Do we have go ahead.
I just wanted to pick up some reagents for a new spell that I have. But other than that, I think I'm okay for now. Should be easy to find. It shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes.
Yeah, while waiting for Olivia, I'm standing kind of in between waiting. If we've got the money, I have quite an expensive request. I think it will help us.
How much money do we need?
Well, it has to go towards a bowl that needs to be, if I can find it, there it is. A bowl encrusted with gems worth 1,000 gold.
Well, we can afford it.
Can't be too hard to obtain in this city if it's a spell that you have access to. It's sort of surrounded by you people.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
I hope so. It's something I've only seen done once, but it'll help us significantly. Keep us from being afraid.
I have some ideas to enchant. Aeon taught me a few new ones. I need another shield for Vesper. You don't have one right now, but I can get one. And then he will walk up to Amson and Ball, touching Amson's ring and Ball's armor, and the runes that are ringing them will go dark. I'll have something else for you tomorrow. Actually, Ball, give me your shoes, and Amson, you have a holy symbol on your neck, right?
Yeah, and he'll start taking it off.
Great.
Ball will pass his shoes over. Size 23 shoes.
We really need to get those socks repaired.
I have a thought I might be able to get a shield back. I don't plan on it, though, so...
Well, I can only enchant a non-magical shield, so I would need a regular one.
Okay, never mind.
I was thinking perhaps we could use the sphere to rest in, leave it here, and that way I can leave something outside that anyone can grab and contact us.
Vesper, we might want to have the Raven nearby when this is happening. I don't know if there's anything he can do to help us, but...
Right. I've got another call I want to make, and then I can contact him.
Braun?
Yes.
Well, whatever you're going to do it quickly, and then get inside and start getting a rest.
I will.
I'm sure we'll have our own plans to make, but start unwinding and getting It's going to be a scary day tomorrow.
Tonight.
Scales. Amethystus says she's kind of being worked back up on this stretcher to carry her back down. Good luck. Tell erudite Tori here. She gestures towards a younger individual with a robe and a clipboard. If you need any supplies, she can run errands for you while you rest.
We will provide her a shopping list.
Thank you. And when this is taken care of, if there's anything we can do to help with this curse.
She waves you away again. I've been along a long time. I've seen curses before. Don't worry about me. And she is moved away. Down below, a stairwell that leads down underneath this structure.
And I will go back, and if Olivia's done, I will catch her attention.
She's never really done, but there is a moment where, most of the Griffin Riders are flying off, and she's kind of preparing to mount one herself.
Redeem Nudon.
Vesper, hey.
I have a favor to ask of you.
In these times.
It's very brief, and it's just something to tell. Well, I don't know where you're going to be at this, but whoever's at the temple, if I send someone to you, no matter who it is, if he shows you a symbol and says that it's from me, would you let him in? Keep him hidden.
She furrows her brows and thinks for a moment. If there's someone we can redeem, we will try.
I hope so, but only if he's there alone.
Who is it?
His name is Braun Ferrick. He's an Umbok who failed the will several times over.
A what? I'm sorry.
A dwarf. It's a type of dwarf. He looks like stone.
All right. I'll have a few informed. If we see them, we'll take care as best we can. We're going to have some triaging in the temple, but we're going to move some temporary stations nearby. A few blocks off from this. Stay out of the main conflict, but closer.
To make sure it's him, just ask him what he left for me in the snow.
And the answer?
A coin. With a message.
All right. I'll be in the sky for the most part, jumping from triage to triage. You're staying here?
Yes.
Those scalpels, don't look standard.
Not all surgery is for healing.
Well said. Good luck, Vesper.
Stay safe.
She nods before she turns the griffin and it flies into the air. At this point, there's still a few kind of moving, working, setting things up, moving rubble in various places. You can see people setting up the ballistica and other instruments, but all the others that don't have work immediately around here are beginning to move off and make preparations at their respective stations.
While Vesper was talking to Olivia, I want to see if Gath is still there, unless he's left immediately.
He's around.
Okay, I'm going to go say hello.
Okay. You catch him as he's kind of going down the stairs, making his way back towards the temple.
So, seems like I've come back at an interesting time.
Yeah, every day is interesting around here now. Suppose it's better than being bored, but that's good. I could ask for better news.
How is everyone?
We're all right. He hit this area the other night hard, but other areas are okay.
Where are you going to be in all this?
We'll be at the temple, most of us. There's a ritual to raise a storm, a big one. We're going to see how big we can make it.
I kind of grin when he says that. Should make things more fun.
Yeah, don't get cocky, kid. First time in the air is not always easy.
Yeah.
Remember which way the wind's blowing. Keep the rain out your eyes. You'll be all right.
Right. I heard a rumor that there's been some kind of serpent seen in the sky. Know anything about that?
Yeah, the sky opened up the other day. Southeast. Do you know anything about it?
Not specifically. I was wondering if it might be an Ursatha thing.
They say it's one of the anchors. It could be related, it could not. I don't know.
But we don't know which one for sure?
Not for sure. I'm going to say it first lie. Some of the erudites I'm not familiar.
First lie.
Don't stay in your head too much, Ellery. Get some rest. Get it cleaned up.
Good luck to you, Gath.
Yeah, don't get yourself killed.
I'll try. See you after.
He waves and walks off. So I presume you guys convene and begin to give a list to Tori. Things you need. Sounds like a goblet of some sort.
It is a gem-encrusted bowl worth at least 1,000 gold, which the spell consumes.
Fancy feast.
Yeah. Hashtag not sponsored.
I presume you hand her the 1,000 gold.
Yes.
Okay. You can tell she's never seen this much money in one place at one time before, but she takes it. I think I'll find something. She asks too many questions, like, how many gems does it? Do they have to be rubies or sapphires or?
Felix will get impatient and tell her to go to one of the temples. They'll know what they need the bowl for.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Write this down. I need a shield.
Shield.
Some pen and paper.
Wooden or metal?
Oh my God.
Metal. Yeah, of course.
Whatever you can. Yes. Thank you.
Any kind of shield. Just get a fucking shield.
She writes down fucking shield on her clipboard.
Just get me a shield and some paper and ink. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
If we can manage it, I'd like 100 gold for 4 castings of True Scene. Yeah?
Yeah, we can afford that.
Okay. So Emson will ask for, it's a special ointment. It's made from mushroom powder, saffron, and fat. It's worth about 25 gold pieces, and I would like 4 of those.
I can get that. We use those in the library actually to read scripture that's been hidden. Actually, it's really interesting. They have underlying meanings.
Perfect. I would like 4 of those. Thank you.
4 of those. Okay, yeah, sure.
How old does she look?
Somewhere around like 16, plus or minus. You're not sure?
Given what Vesper just said about the casting time and eating time of the Hero's Feast, can we ask around the clergy for pay someone to give us one before we go to bed?
Give you a bowl?
No, cast the spell.
It takes an hour to eat.
So, I don't want to risk trying to do that in the morning or at the night.
I'm gonna make a bunch of granola bars, and we'll eat them in the middle of battle.
It's terrible.
But yeah, if we could pay 1,000 gold to have some other high-level cleric make food for us.
I'll give them more shit. I have things.
The older bearded gentleman, the word is passed to him. It's not a bad idea. Queen Wolfrath, Soul Beacon, some of the Luminants, Valkyrs, you all, gesturing to the scales, if you can chip in for some goblets, we'll have a feast here after night falls, just before.
And if it's last 24 hours?
We'll have it just before. Takes time to get these things together, young one, or would you like to do it? Are you sure?
I'd have to sleep first. I don't have the energy left to cast anything.
A lot of us have to make preparations as well. We'll squeeze it in. We'll make it work. Some Justicar Dragonborn knights come around and collect some coins from a few of the factions, from the Queen and the White Wolves, and some of the Luminants, the Valisols, Golden Sun Knights, and y'all as well. We'll have this prepared before sundown. As the sun begins to set, we'll finish this up. That way we'll be prepared before night. We'll have it here for any of you who offered one last meal.
Okay, dark, but thank you.
There's nothing darker than Hex, so here we go.
All right, you're getting punny. Everyone go to bed.
Yeah, let's get some rest.
You guys are offered, you can feel free to go back to your normal quarters if you'd like. You are also offered a few basic cots, really no more than blankets, kind of on the floor beneath this place, somewhere that's a little closer. But otherwise, you can go back to your normal stopping ground or use the sphere. Where are you guys going to rest?
I vote sleepover in the sphere.
Yeah, I don't want to take the time to go back to the inn. Sphere's comfy.
And before I go in and follow everyone else, I'm assuming, we're setting it up and everything, I'll step off to the side and I'll cast Sending to Braun. Go to the Temple of Aiain and show them the symbol I gave you. They'll let you hide out there. They'll keep you safe, but you have to want it.
Fine.
Cool.
But fuck that guy.
Out of character for real. I said, well, hey, I'm gonna save your life, and he sent back K. I'm like, fine.
So you guys...
Then, are you also going to contact the Raven?
Yes, I have... Oh, I actually have 3 more casting. Oh, no. 2 more casting. Yeah, so I contact Braun. Fuck, yeah, I contact the Raven. Let him know what's going down. In 25 words or less, I certainly do that.
Jesus. Yes, I'm aware of what's happening. I'm glad to see you've returned. You put me through shit. I was very wet.
As soon as she hears whoever is near her, she does the thing where she starts hitting their arm really hard.
But what? Ow!
It spoke. I'm
Wait,
not
what?
shitting you this time. It actually spoke. It says it knows what's going on and is really pissed off that we got it all wet and put it through shit.
That we got it all wet?
I guess. Maybe it was with us in the storm. Oh, goodness, did it follow us there? I don't know, but it knows what's happening. And it spoke. It actually replied.
Okay. Does that mean that it's not a bird now, or?
I don't have any more castings. I can't help. Meli, you
We'll
were
see it
in
tomorrow.
right?
Meli doesn't know the bird.
All right.
Get inside.
Okay, yeah.
Let me talk to the bird.
I guess you'll meet the bird later.
So you guys set up the sphere, somewhere on the rotunda?
Yeah, we make someone watch it for us.
Okay.
We're about to fight a fucking dragon. Someone can watch our camp.
Okay, yeah, so you put it put it next to a rock or something. Get inside, focusing. Meli, I don't know if you've ever been inside this before. There is a little sphere of glass, and you see one by one the rest to focus and disappear into it. You do the same, focusing, and your vision is filled with black smoke and then flames. You feel warmth and smell sulfur as you step through a arcing doorway of fire into a half-dome room. It's maybe 40 feet in diameter, something like that. You see there are stairs down on each side. You're kind of on a stage that lead down into the den. In the center is, there was runes or something carved on the ground that had been scratched out and destroyed. To the left is a long table, dinner table. To the right is a bookshelf. Beyond it, a desk. And on the other side of the room is another stage where there was maybe a statue or something at some point that has also been destroyed. And you see, presumably, a few cots and sleeping bag type things where your friends have been sleeping in this fiendish looking red-stoned room for some time.
You guys have a pocket house? That's awesome.
It's proven pretty useful.
It's pretty cozy.
What's with the fire door? I feel that.
You remember
safe.
Voyage? This used to be his.
Oh.
Or his master's. Something like that.
A devil.
So we stole his bedroom?
Yeah, after we killed him.
It was more like a resurrection, chamber, but now it's ours, and it's actually quite homey once you get used to it.
It's very cozy. I meant to bring this up earlier, but I didn't. I have spell scrolls for raising the dead, and I don't know if that's helpful for fighting the shadow dragon.
We have 2 people that we could cast. Actually, I think 3.
Like
4?
Raising the dead, do you mean like resurrecting someone, or do you mean like having zombie servants?
I think it's having zombie servants. DM? It's the ones that I stole from that book that she gave me. Was it zombies, or was it?
It's more of zombies, yeah.
Okay.
Meli.
But they're better.
Yeah.
Meli.
It's zombies. Yes.
Meli?
Yes.
No.
But surely things that don't really feel fear or pain would be helpful.
Meli, I support your line of thinking, but given the level of piety we're currently surrounded by, I think that's a good way to get you killed.
I thought I was the one who made bad decisions.
I'm just saying also we're fighting the undead. If they see you raising the undead, even if that wasn't,
they might become on their side.
Then exactly.
That's
Or
great,
they
and
might
they won't attack
steal
me.
control of them.
Oh, that's not great. Can they do that?
Powerful undead? Yes. If they have
Oh.
whites among the army, which we know they do. Ooh, we should mention that and throw a paper airplane with whites through the fire.
Beware, whites, all caps.
Oh, I would
I
love
don't
if that
think they know
worked.
how to
Felix
spell
would
white.
never leave. Sorry, what?
But I don't think they know how to spell their colors.
Oh, that's good. I imagine at this point we're all kind of just like getting out of armor and starting the rest, because rest only takes like 6 hours of actual sleep. It's a lot of. You can have 2 hours of winding down, but we are resting now.
I think Vesper, who's not usually a huge cuddler, is just full like koala bear on Williams, and she's like, no.
Felix is doing the same to Ball. No. Felix is, of course, passing wine to anybody who wants it. There was
I'll
also
take
wine on
some.
the shopping list.
I will take some wine, please. And I will pour myself some wine and
Yes,
drink
before
some
bed,
wine.
I'm absolutely drinking wine.
I will say, in the time that we've had this sphere, any downtime, there is probably a wine shelf with a few liquor bottles, whatever money Felix has. I will probably have spent like my 75 gold on stocking that and getting a nice desk, and for him, a very nice cot. Everyone else is on their own.
Felix, where the fuck did you get this wine? It's really shitty. Very weak.
I bought it from your father.
Come on.
No, that bottle, no. But it was too easy. I was going for quantity over quality. I've given up.
Taste this shit, though. I can barely feel it at all.
Tastes fine to me.
It's not good, Felix.
No, Ellery still can't get drunk.
It still doesn't taste great.
Well, it's wine. Shut up.
Guess we shouldn't be getting too drunk when we've got a battle ahead of us.
So, you all fought a weird monster dragon. I stayed on the periphery of a few dragon battles. Who's excited?
I just kind of stare blankly at him with my one eye.
I will say, as he's saying, his face is not excited. He's looking like blankly in horror, just kind of staring not at anyone as he speaks. Maybe at the wine bottle. Rubbing over where it says Pinot.
Hey, Ball, how are you doing right now?
I don't know much about fighting dragons.
Be careful, okay? I know you're going to get up close. Just try to stay out of reach of his claws, or his bite, or, everything.
Maybe we could target the wings. That'd be a good place to start.
Trying to keep it on the ground or as close to it will be key. Hopefully, that's what the Queen's goons will be doing with their ballista.
Yeah, if he's on the ground, he can't fly away. Just whenever he wants, so.
DM, am I understanding correctly that the rotunda has a roof but no walls?
Yes. It's 7 columns. There was 8 and a roof, but no walls.
I studied dragons when I was learning Draconic. Do I recognize the name? Because there was the Tarsat at the table. Do I recognize in character what that means?
Give me a religion check.
Okay. Okay. That is 30.
You know the Tarsat is the sort of religious leader of the faith of Osa. There is a Tarsat that rotates between the faith of Akashan, the god of justice, the dragon god of justice, and Zihara, the dragon goddess who is presumed dead and her heart ripped out and thrown into the ocean, from whence a island sprang up. This position of Tarsat rotates. They usually spend their time out in the desert waste of Harsama, the land where Draconia, as it's commonly referred to, of dragons and the dragonborn. According to Felix and a few others, that land has been ripped apart by civil war, dragons fighting each other, dragonborns fighting each other, ancient civilizations being ripped to shreds, and the Tarsat makes their religious home seated in the bones of Osa, this dragon god of time, which was split into Akashan and Zihara in their death, dealing the final killing blow to Northel.
And I say aloud, well, I know the Tarsat is a leader of dragons. He promised to help us keep Hex out of the sky. I'm sure his form that we saw at the table isn't his true nature. Much like Amethystus. That'll be nice.
Yeah, I'll take all the help we can get. I'm pleased to see you return, Meli. You're arguably the most competent among your friends.
I don't believe that in the slightest. But thanks. It's nice to see you too.
There's been a lot happening since we last saw you.
There definitely has been. I've missed out on a lot of fun, apparently.
Yeah, fun. That's the word for it. Though I think you would have enjoyed the last place we went.
The last place?
We traveled deep, deep down into the depths of the world, and turns out the world has some sort of body-like thing. We found its gallstones.
Well, Amson, our planet is a titan that died, and we went into its spinal cord and went to its brain.
Indeed.
Oh,
and now it sort of lives in my head.
What?
Because Felix isn't insufferable enough already.
He now has the titan of a planet in his head?
He's still sleeping, just not comatose?
Can we put him back?
I think we kind of need him.
Why?
Because he's empowering Felix to help kill Eternals.
Oh.
Just like whatever Ellery did. He's empowering her the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the eye patch.
Yeah, I kind of cut out my own eye and sacrificed it to... Okay, Vesper helped.
So, I'm not allowed to stab a cow, but Vesper's allowed to chop out our friend's eyeball.
Very different circumstances, Meli. Very different circumstances.
Doesn't sound like
one was for curiosity, one is to save the world. It's a little bit different.
We don't know what that sword could have done. I could have saved the world by stabbing a cow with it.
I'm not going to argue with you.
It's probably a good idea.
And nobody can argue with Meli and win. She's too good at all that logic shit.
That's why you read books, so you can argue with people.
See, she gets it.
I prefer to argue with people by getting in their faces. It's also pretty effective.
True. Can you grow it back?
No, it's gone.
As in, like, you have to not have an eye, or do you just don't know how to grow it back?
I don't think it can be grown back.
Right.
I think it belongs to somebody else now.
What does that mean?
So, there's this being called the Old One. I think it has other names. It's not from this universe annulus? I don't know. It's from before. The Stranger. Have you ever heard of that?
I don't think so. And it needed an eye.
I mean, it seems to collect them. It collected Voltimeri's eye. So at least I'm in good company.
Your eye and Voltimeri's eye just sat on a shelf, hanging out.
Now that's a mental image. Not an entirely inaccurate one if I was understanding things correctly while we were in that place. It seems like there were a lot of eyes there.
Really
you missed the bit where a snake slithered out of my eye socket. That was fun.
I'm really glad I missed that because that sounds really fucking gross.
Was it because it left you its tongue?
By the way,
we didn't
Meli,
talk about that. Why did we not talk about that? Because that I don't remember being part of the things the mysterious stranger said would happen, and then there it was, just his wine glass is sloshing a bit at this point.
Reach over and steady it a little bit.
I stick my forked tongue out at Felix, just to see how he reacts.
Visible flinch every time.
Yeah, so that's a thing.
Why did everything happen to Ellery?
The question we've all been asking ourselves since we met her.
Good question. I mean, did we tell you about what happened earlier today?
I don't think we had time.
Well, our first Harbinger showed up.
Oh, that's nice.
Guess whose Harbinger it was?
Was it Ellery's?
Yup.
Got it in one.
Who would say?
Because of course I would be first. Of course. And of course, I would be a Crimson Harbinger. Not sure why not. I don't have words anymore.
Do we know who else has a Crimson one?
Not for certain.
No. Vesper Silver, naturally.
Of course.
Fels Calvin.
I detect a hint of distaste in the way you say that. Naturally.
No, it's just... How much influence do you think this thing has been having over me? This whole fucking time, how many of my decisions are really mine? And how many are what it wants? There's something that's a part of me, or that's attached to me, whatever, that wants to see the fucking end of the world.
And I was the one who said we should tear the gate down before you were even willing to consider that that was the only option. So I don't think it actually has anything to do with anything about who we are.
I hope not.
So naturally I'm silver. For whatever reason, it's a natural assumption.
It's because you're a goody two-shoes, love.
I just kind of nod at Felix.
Well, Ellery, as you said, you are not who I am. End quote. You can decide whoever you want to be. And if it comes back, we'll just deal with it again.
If these things are eternals, do you think that it will come back? If one of us who can have an impact on Eternals is the one who takes the final blow? Who did that, by the way? I couldn't really see much.
I did. I don't know. But I've had enough wine, so I'm going to bed. Just broke it up.
This fucking wine isn't doing anything.
I don't know. I'm feeling quite lovely.
Yeah, keep drinking, Felix. And I'm going to go to sleep.
Meli, would you like to hear all about the mushroom forest that we flew over, deep underground?
I would love to hear about the mushroom forest.
I guess Amson will kind of tiredly talk about the mushroom forest and what it looked like and all the different things we saw and the glowing mushrooms and the large-ish beings that were chopping down mushrooms that we heard and blah, 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 blah.
So once we save the world, we're like totally going back there, right?
Sure. We could probably manage that.
I'm going to sleep.
See you tonight.
I don't have the energy to be, I don't know, to care if this is weird, but can I just sleep next to somebody?
You can join me if you want.
Thanks, Meli.
I'll scoot over. I'm not that big, it's fine.
I've missed you.
I've missed you too. I've missed everyone, and I wish Calvin could be here. So we had everyone.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you too.
So as you guys find rest, after wine and story and talking, you find sleep. Anxious anxiety for tonight, a few hours. But that coupled with exhaustion of the last couple of days, everything you've been through up till now. Is there anything else you wanted to do? As you go to sleep, wake up in the morning, I know Felix trances.
Yeah, so I think Felix will do his meditation and he finishes up before everybody else. So he'll start going around gathering all the things he needs to infuse today. His own armor and shield, Amson's locket. He'll start, just take a quill and some ink and he just paints deep speech runes around the symbol of Ain. That begins to just have a faint pink glow. And I think as he's about to reach over and finish up with Vesper's shield, has a moment where he just stops at his desk in the silence. Oh, shit. This is really... And he will sort of have a panic attack quietly, and then just start counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Repulsion shield. And he will start making the familiar scrolls around Vesper's shield.
As we begin to wrap up for tonight, you guys wake up in the morning, exit, begin to prepare yourself. Your items are delivered to you, the ointments. There's some places set up. They don't want to move tables or anything, but all upon the rubble, a priest comes by, the soul beacon, who takes a goblet and slowly walks around, pouring it out. As the wine hits the stones, it forms into bowls and plates, cups full of wine and water and grapes and goat and turkey and vegetables and all sorts of food upon plates. There's a place set up for you all on the rubble of this column, one for the Valkyr and one for a few others who prepare themselves. You guys eat, imbibe. There's some talking. The other white wolves, the queen there's some discussion, but they're quiet, focused, their minds on what lies ahead. Each of you, give me an idea of kind of what you're doing, getting your mind set. Are you sharpening your weapon? Are you reading through your spell book? Are you praying? What are you doing to kind of get yourself set for what lies ahead as we fade out?
I think Ellery she's taken the lodestone out of her locket and is just kind of idly tossing it up and catching it, and tossing it up and catching it, and tossing it up and catching it, and looking out into the sky, waiting for the storm to start.
I think Vesper is very quiet today. She doesn't really say anything unless spoken to. I think she takes the shield from Felix and doesn't really look at him when she does.
If she's like that, he's not going to let it stand.
Okay. Well, she's like that, so.
What?
It's nothing. Can I have this?
You're unfocused.
I'm not.
Okay. But we may die in an hour, so if there's anything you need to say, probably a good time.
Do you even care?
If you survive, yes. How you're feeling, no. That is my honest answer.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Look, Felix, whatever happened to you, and I think kind of the cattiness fades a little at this. It is sincere when she says this. I don't know if you grew up in a shitty situation. I don't know if you had wonderful parents. I don't know if you never knew love, or if you did, and it broke your heart so damn badly that you decided it was better to be ice cold than get burned again. I don't know what happened to you, but I'm sorry that it did. Can I have my shield?
Yes.
She'll take it. But as she's, her hair, I think, has been bound up tightly. And as she's maybe fixing it between bites of food and praying, as she always does in the morning, one thought that she's that's been haunting her since she tried to go to bed last night, that was, they keep calling me a goody two-shoes, but I can't seem to ever fucking do anything right, so I don't understand where they're coming from.
I think Felix, after that conversation with Vesper and passing out the rest of the items, he will take the staff he is borrowing from Amson and sort of idly practicing, because he's been on it, but not that much. And I think he is annoyed and thoughtful, which he doesn't want to be, but he is grumpy.
I think Val probably finds a moment to just kind of, with his ruby crown, he's just kind of circling it in his fingers, and he's just kind of igniting the tip of his finger, and just kind of, almost like those people that do the little, when you have a glass and you rub your finger around the edge. He's kind of doing that, but with his engulfed finger, just kind of rolling it around the rim of the crown.
Meli is just sat at the table, sort of shoving food in her mouth, and she's got her spell book, and she's trying to memorize spells and eat at the same time, and she keeps looking up at everyone every now and again, trying to see what they're doing, trying to figure out which spells would be helpful.
I think Amson will, he'll pray a little bit, he'll eat, and he'll probably be not too far away from where Meli is, and he's probably humming a tune that he seems to hum quite often when the party's about to do something kind of crazy. But it's happy. It's a cheerful tune, a little bit upbeat, kind of masking the stress of everything going on.
As you are taking this meal, eating, preparing, watching the other groups do the same, begin eating as the sun is beginning to descend. You begin to finish your meal as the sun sets. Cloud cover makes the pink sky glow red, and it fades to pink, to light blue, to dark blue, and to night. Torches are lit, dim, flickering against the columns. The snow blows in flurries through the city. The knights and soldiers and defenders of God's rest are quiet and still as night comes. The breath fogging out of their mouths, armor clanking, the last straps tightening, weapons being checked and sheathed, strapped on as you look into the night. And that's what we'll pick up next time.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Back to the Story. If you liked what you heard, give us a subscription. We're available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and more. If you'd like to contact us, you can tweet us at back_to_the_story. And if you can't fit it into 280 characters, you can always email us at thebonfirefables@gmail.com. For behind-the-scenes sneak peeks, memes, updates, and more, follow us on either Twitter or on our Tumblr, back-to-the-story.tumblr.com. Lastly, if you're in a generous mood, feel free to buy us a coffee at ko-fi.com/backtothestory. We'll see you next time in Northville.